I'm much more positive. I think that I'm less fearful, meaning when the situation that I'm uncomfortable in, that's all it is now. It's just being uncomfortable. Who doesn't get uncomfortable, right? And so I don't let that go to the extreme. I'm able to talk myself through that uncomfortable feeling and deal with it as that and not make it bigger than it is. I think so. I'm more. I look forward more to the future as opposed to hiding from the future now, and so I'm actually excited to see, like what's next. What's next? Like before, I'd be like, oh, I always. It was funny. It was this thing we would always say, you're flying under the radar. Before I was flying under the radar. Now I'm above the radar. I want to be seen. I want to talk to people. I'm excited about meeting new people as opposed to before. I can't say it any different. That I just existed. I mean, if I walked, into a room, I was hoping no one would see me walk in. Like I did, I was hoping I can get to an area, sit in my little corner, and do what I needed to do, and get out before, I just existed. Now it's like I go in, I want to talk to people, I want people to see me, I want these things, and that's like I can't even put into words the night and day difference, and the feeling of just being alive again. I can't even articulate that how important that is for me, and how I didn't even know how important that was for me.
Well, my attitude is like Patti LaBelle. I have a brand new attitude, and my future about myself is that what God has for me is for me, and this is the way that it's going to be, and that I accept things for as they are. I'm not trying to wonder why me or anything, for I have a purpose, and I know that my purpose is definitely caring for people, but also caring for myself. It's really taught me to try to take better care of myself. I have a long ways to go, though, but first of all, I have started like a little baby. I have started to try to crawl. I haven't got up and walked yet, but I'm making the attempt to crawl.
What I'm learning in life coaching, and how I need to approach things differently, and how I need to speak positively to myself. It makes me worry sometimes. I don't want to get to the point where I'm so self-absorbed, and that's a little concern for me, because to me it's like I'm going from one extreme to the other, even though I probably need to for my sake, especially as far as the positive self-talk. I really need to go to the extreme in that. But I'm sure I'll find a happy medium and, not go overboard, or so I'm hoping. Well, I believe that if I do what's necessary, I can make a better future for myself than I had probably anticipated a little while ago. I realized that I do have some input. I have a lot of input in how it can turn out if I do the right things, if I go about it the right way. It could be definitely a more positive future.
The future is brighter. The future is in my control. In my opinion of me, is to really, take one thing at a time. You don't have to try to control everything. Everything is not in, first of all, everything's not in your control. So don't try to control everything. The only person you have control over is you. You have influence over other people, but you choose who you want to have influence over. Because if you try to influence everybody that's in your circle, you're gonna wear yourself out. I don't have that. I don't need that. That's too much time, too much energy. And I only have a limited amount of time in a day. I'll have all that there is 24 hours. So I need to pick and choose what's important and who's worthy. So I'm good with that. I'm good with that. We'll try to control everything and, control everybody and try to make everybody happy and try to do everything. Well, it's not about all of that. It's about living and making sure that I'm happy. And sometimes even those that are closest to me, sometimes they have to be unhappy. And if they're unhappy, that's not for me to fix. They've got to figure out how to fix it for themselves.
My attitude, I think, has been more of an awareness that, okay, I need to be focused on doing what gives me what makes me fulfilled, and not necessarily worrying about all the other caca or clutter that bombards me every day of the week, just like everyone else. From an opinion of myself, I'm tending to realize that maybe I'm realizing that the person that I am is a much stronger person than I realize, and that a lot of what I do today is good, even though I don't even see it sometimes, because I'm always I was before looking at things in a more negative framework than in a positive framework. So that's what's changed from my attitude standpoint. I'm more realizing from in the future standpoint that how I deal with things, how I address things and events, it's up to me. I can continue to move forward and look at things in a new light and make certain that they're fulfilling for me, and how I take on interactions is the way I want them to be in order to meet where I want to go in this world, or I can simply fall back in old habits, which is not a very desirable situation.